Betty White, Bob Ross, Danny DeVito. Fortunately, they're good people. For now. So here's a list of greatly admired people who are absolutely disgusting human beings. Pablo Picasso. Yeah, the guy who made people look like he threw them in a blender just to get his drunk toddler to reassemble them. His art was as messed up as his views on women. It's 1904, he meets Fernande Olivier, where he proceeds to lock her in his apartment every single time he went out. Like the dog he probably saw her as. She wasn't allowed outside without him, but hey, who am I to kink shame? Anyways, they adopt a 13-year-old girl named Raymond. What a nice family, right? Wrong! With Pablo being a deranged artist and Fernande being, well, a woman. She felt the need to snoop around. And snoop around she did because she found some pretty questionable images of the underage girl. Images that, let's just say, would get Drake all, ooh! 5 pedophiles, wah, wah, wah. So she returned the kid, and some time passed and Fernande fell sick. Probably from all the 4chan posts she found of their daughter. And Pablo, well, he got bored of banging her, beating her, and drawing her, so he cheated on her and discarded her like a used-up paintbrush. You see, women were all disposable to him, and he'd move on faster than the comment section saying that I'll never be as good as Salmonella. Here's some of the other crappy things he's done. He kidnapped a woman named Irene Lagat and brought her to Paris, where he then forces an affair on her. Women were just things after all, right? She managed to escape, but came crawling back a week later. Talk about Stockholm Syndrome, eh? But she eventually came to her senses and ran off to be with a woman. Another woman. That's right! Picasso screwed her so bad, he turned her lesbian. After some years of leveling his mental abuse powers a bit more, he married Olga Kokolova. They had a kid together, and this story might sound a bit similar. She fell sick, she needed surgery, and Picasso, he was done with her. So he did what any asshole would do, and he started sleeping with a 17-year-old girl, Marie Walters. I don't know if this was legal back then, but hey, he's a celebrity now. They do that sort of stuff. Anyways, Marie gets pregnant, Olga files for divorce, but Picasso, he was like, nah fam, you ain't taking half, you staying my bitch. So he rejected the divorce, and they stayed married. Then she died of disease. And to mess with her one last time, they buried her in an English grave rather than a Russian one. But before she died, Picasso met Dora Maar, where he stepped up his art game by beating her till she actually looked like one of his paintings. He mentally harassed her and humiliated her till she actually felt like one of his paintings. He did this all just so he could draw her sad. He did this with all women. Oh yeah, he was still seeing Marie then, so he made her and Dora duke it out in the octagon. That's my favorite memory. Ever notice why he always draws his women so deranged? It's because he messed them up first. They all needed therapy, and some even killed themselves, like his second wife Jacqueline Rock. His own granddaughter said it best. He's a piece of shit! Sounds like a real Picasso if you ask me. Gandhi, the bald dude in glasses who wore bedsheets, kicked the British out of India, and was a bit too trigger happy with his nukes. We all know that part, but let's see what happens behind closed doors. What the hell is this? Kids, Gandhi? Kids? He was a certified diddler who would crawl into bed and sleep naked with underage girls. And if incest is where you draw the line, Gandhi had no such line, cause this included his own grandniece. It was a spiritual experiment to test his ability to resist diddling little girls. He said he failed. And even if he didn't, this is a guy who got his jollies off little kids. He wanted them as badly as a YouTuber wanting you to push that subscribe button. Sounds like a terrible person already. He was one of those guys who blamed the girl for getting assaulted. If you want to stop getting attacked, shave off your head. No one wants a baldy. Or just kill yourself to save yourself. This was the empowerment Gandhi was doling out. He also hated black people, wanted segregation, and claimed that Indians were infinitely superior. Superior at what, you ask? I don't know, scams? He wrote that as long as the blacks were chilling with the Indians, there would be disease. But at that time, everybody was a racist. It was cool to hate, but even so, Gandhi was an Indian, and Indians were shitted on by the Brits. Yet this peace-touting, kid-loving, rocket-polishing bald man couldn't see that blacks were suffering the same inequalities. Now you're probably wondering, who else is a racist? Well, let me tell you. John Harvey Kellogg, the guy who invented cornflakes. No, not the good one. This one, the most bland, boner-killing cereal of all time. He made it as an anti-sex cereal, cause flavorful foods just, turns people on. Makes sense though, there's only one thing I hope for after a good dinner. And so, as someone who thought pleasure was the root of all evil, he believed in bland-ass food. But you know what else is pleasurable? Touching yourself at night. And very quickly, John was on a mission to stop masturbation because according to him, this self-abuse would cause everything from blindness to death. The good old doctor came up with some cures. For the boys, he wanted circumcisions without anesthesia. For the girls, he recommended burning their genitals with carbolic acid so that they would never, ever be tempted again. Real nice guy, right? Now back to the racist thing. He was all about racial purity, very Targaryen of him. And he was super into eugenics too, which means that he wanted to control who could breed. Surprise, surprise, he thought, if you ain't white, you ain't right. And that the rest should just be bred away. Kind of like the plot on Attack on Titan. He founded the Race Betterment Foundation where he held conferences about being a racist prick, and he made a registry for it. So not only was he trying to control your breakfast and what you do at night, but he also wanted to control the future of humanity. Who would win, Chuck Norris or Jackie Chan? Jackie jumps off buildings, punches through walls, and made Rush Hour great 3 times. But his real life story is less Hollywood hero and more kinda horrible dude. He abandoned his family to film, but let's forgive that. He makes good movies. His son went to jail in 2014 for smoking a doobie, and Jackie basically said, well, boo fucking who for you? Man, even Trump helps his kids. Some kids more than others. Turns out good old Jackie isn't just a bad dad. He cheated on his wife and had a bastard daughter named Etta Ng. And he was like, everybody does it. Like, dude, that's not even close to an apology, man. So he disowned the daughter and didn't want anything to do with her, practically pretending she didn't exist. She's also gay, and her mother abandoned her too. You would think Jackie would come around and support her, right? Nope! Apparently she lives in poverty now. Anyways, he has a lot of national pride too. Nothing wrong with that, but he's taking it to a whole new level, practically saying that the Chinese need to be controlled in every facet of their lives. I mean, I've seen Chinese tourists, and yeah, they do. But this guy, he wants to take away their freedoms, so much for the everyman image, eh? Anyways, the next time you see someone getting all hyped out about how great somebody is, just remember, everybody's got some baggage. I'm GK, leaving you with some knowledge to ruin your heroes. Thanks for watching.